was cursed. You feel save me.
Alright, welcome back. Today is Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. So the question on everyone's mind is just how low cryptocurrency is going. So I'm actually filming this video and the price has dropped about $200 in the past, Bitcoin price. It's dropped about $200 in the last 5 minutes, breaking that small support that it had for about an hour or so there. So by the time I get it uploaded, it might have changed. But I want to talk about a lot of things in this video, including sentiment. I mentioned that in my last video. That's why I brought up the Wall Street cheat sheet. It's why I brought up the cycle of emotions, try and get the psychology behind it, because believe it or not, these markets are more so than any other subject, more so than any college study most likely, is psychology. It's based on psychology. It's based on people's fears. It's based on people's hopes, their emotions. And so psychology is very integral, it's pretty much the backbone of markets, at least, especially with my experience in cryptocurrency. It's all about human psychology. It is all about emotions. No matter how many times somebody ideally would say, like, you know, keep your emotions out of it, that's not going to keep emotions out of it. People are going to get emotionally invested. Most people are going to get emotionally invested. People are going to get excited when the price goes up, and that's also emotional investment. It's pretty much impossible to not get excited if you just 10x your value of your cryptocurrencies. In the same way, you can try and deny it. People also will get upset if you lose 20% of your value in a day. It's just natural. And it all plays a role in the market. It plays a role in what decisions you make, how you're feeling about your investments. And on a macro scale, it plays a huge role in how the market functions. So it's all based on psychology. That was a much longer introduction than I intended to do. But yeah, so we'll get into that, basically, the price, as well as the sentiment around cryptocurrency, which is more crucial now than any time in the past 12 months. Again, yeah, sorry for that long intro. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So I want to start here. One of the big reasons I think sentiment has potentially dipped a little bit lower. We'll talk about that. But so for the past few months, for the past year really, cryptocurrency has held above 250 billion US dollars. If we zoom in here, we can see there's one quick exception. Back on June 29th, it was 235, but you can see this very sharp increase right here. I'll move my mouse so you can see it. It immediately bounced up from like 235 up to 257, 250 roughly. So if it's bounced below 250, it is immediately always broken above that. If you take a look on this line, you can see 250 has been support in the global market cap. You can see that very clearly here. So what exactly has happened now is that 250 is no longer. We finally broke it clearly, and we are significantly below it, and I expect that we'll probably stay below it, at least for the short term here. Currently the market cap, we can just hit refresh and see. Yeah, it's down another 8 billion since I last refreshed this a few minutes ago. So yeah, clearly we broke that support. So why that's significant? For one thing, that is possible because if we just take a look at cryptocurrency, one of the reasons I believe it did bounce back about a month and a half ago is because Bitcoin dominance was lower. It's actually gone up over 0.5% in the last hour since I've looked at the chart. But Bitcoin dominance was lower, meaning that if the market cap was below 250, this was even closer to 100 billion overall valuation for Bitcoin. And a lot of people think that potentially with the futures market, they want to keep Bitcoin above 100 billion. Who knows? We could even see it go below that here in the short term. That would be interesting to see if Bitcoin does go below 100 billion. What ramifications that might have for the futures market or with everything as a whole. I think that'll be interesting. But since dominance has increased with Bitcoin, I think that allows the overall global market cap to go down because it really is all based on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin can stay above 100 billion, then more can bleed from the alts. And you can see that more is bleeding from these alts. Ethereum down 13%, XRP down 20%, EOS down 22%, Litecoin down 16%. These are huge losses, biggest losses we've seen in 24 hours in a long time here. And with it breaking that 250 billion support, I think we'll finally enter a new territory that I think it's been a long time coming. If we look at Bitcoin over the past 8 or so months, this really, I think this was inevitable. Looking back now, we need to have this capitulation and this this real fear in the market and people losing interest. And that's what takes me back to a day or two ago when I said in the forums a lot of people were not coming to each other's rescue. A lot of people were not feeling optimistic. People were being more pessimistic, and people that were pessimistic usually would be met with optimism by other commenters, and we're not really seeing that. It's more so just like complete pessimism in the entire environment. And I think that's more so what needs to be done in a bear market. That's what a bear market should bring. And so far, there's been way too much optimism. Even just a few weeks ago, there's been so much optimism, which we need to lose. You know what I mean? Still, we see a bunch of people coming out and being optimistic on price, optimistic in terms of technology is fair. It should be. We should be optimistic on what this revolution will do with finance and with how we transact, and even deeper things like the Web 3.0 and everything that will be built off of this in the future. But in terms of price and in terms of people that are interested in making money, this is exactly what we need. Actually, at the time of making this as well, Litecoin might go under $60, which is unheard of. For a lot of people a few months ago, a lot of people would never think that would happen, including myself. I didn't necessarily think we would go under $60. But yeah, this to me, okay, we can look at it two ways, that the price is going down and that's not what we want. Fair enough. It's a very simple, I think, majority opinion there. On the other hand, which I also think is a pretty majority opinion, is that we need to see this happen. This is what needs to happen. And I think the faster it happens, the better. The faster these markets bleed out and find a true bottom, the better. Because apparently, at least what we're seeing so far, it doesn't look necessarily like we found the bottom. So we just need this to continue. We need sentiment to drop. That's what needs to come out of a bear market before things turn around. And it's really simple as that. The other thing I want to talk about is that I think this is probably heavily correlated with the ETF postponement, even though myself and many other people over the past week or two were saying, most likely it probably will get postponed after more information came out just on how their processes work in regards to ETFs and regulations and approvals with this kind of stuff. So the fact that it got delayed, I don't think was really that surprising to a lot of people, but apparently it must have been, I guess, because the price did suffer. If we want to go, we just want to look on the 4-hour, or this candle right here was pretty heavily correlated with the news. I think these drops were pretty much because of the news, apparently. So I'm a little shocked. So what that means though, and this has kind of been the case for the past 8 months, bad news drops the price and good news does nothing. We've had amazing news the past few weeks with NYSE, ICE, Microsoft, Starbucks, more custodial services potentially from Goldman Sachs, and you can pretty much go down the list and there's everything good, and the price doesn't move. In fact, the price dumps when good news comes out. The price goes down, and that's just a bear market for you, I guess. When good things happen, you can see that the price does nothing, and in this case over the past week it's actually gone down. And when bad news comes out, you can see, or not even necessarily bad news, but just the postponement for another month and a half, you can see that the market reacted probably. I'm going to say that's probably due to the news, but you can never know for sure. It timed very well with it, so that's why I'm more confident that's probably related to the news. But again, too, we have an Amazon executive joining Coinbase. So here we have Tim Wagner. He's the new vice president of engineering. Again, I'll post both of these in the description if you want to take a look at them. Somebody being attracted to cryptocurrency that has an amazing background, that's worked with some of the top companies in the world, also including Microsoft. These people are very, very brilliant, and they're getting involved with cryptocurrency, and they're still attracted to it despite what the market has been doing. So yeah, basically to sum that up, good news does absolutely nothing for the price, and bad news seems to continue to bring it downwards. And this is my opinion, and I would love to know if you guys agree with this. We have to get this over with, and it needs to happen. So we might as well accept it, and let it do what it needs to do, and not really feel too optimistic in the short term. Long term, of course, obviously, focus on the tech, focus on what the future is going to bring. But we'd be kidding ourselves if we would say that, price doesn't matter at all and price doesn't influence anything. Obviously, price influences the entire market. It influences passion or the excitement that fills the space. You can see all across the board, views, subscribers just on YouTube for cryptocurrency. You can see views on threads. You can see people joining new communities, and people reading articles. Everything is down in terms of the number of people that interact when the price is down. It's directly correlated. You can look on any metric, and essentially the interest falls with the price. It cannot be more clear, essentially, right? So price is obviously important for many reasons, and people also get excited about price. One of the reasons that cryptocurrency blew up, the interest of cryptocurrency blew up, directly correlated with price. Price is what initially brought so many people to research this space and to become involved. 100%. That is why. There's awesome stuff behind it, but people would not have known about what cryptocurrency is about unless the price caught their eye. The dramatic price increase. That is what caught people's eye, and that's what got people involved. That's what got people to stick around and really become interested, informed, and wanting to be involved with the community. But the technology is what will make people stick around. Price is what gets them involved. And right now we're seeing less people get involved because the price is low. So in terms of sentiment, yeah, it's pretty much at an all-time low. And I said it was an all-time low about 2 days ago. Now we've reached another all-time low, you can say, right? And at this point, I don't necessarily think a lot of people watching are going to be dumping out. I could be wrong, but we have to be somewhat close to the bottom. I don't think we're going to lose 70% more value out of the market now. I mean, if you look at the indicators, the RSI is down to 30. I mean, the stochastic is bottomed out at like 2 or something like that. So it's not like we're going to see Bitcoin go to, $100. Never say never, but even the most bearish people obviously don't think Bitcoin will go to $100. If it did, there would be so many wealthy people in the future that I don't think it would be possible that could even happen. But yeah, in terms of the bottom, where is the bottom for this? As we can see by what's happened and by everyone predicting things back in February, March, April, people who bought in Bitcoin in 2010 and 11 that a lot of people put trust in, or people that are, accredited traders or things like that. Most people, I think essentially everybody has been proven wrong, and most people did not call for this. Maybe the only person I can think of off the top of my head who did call for this is Charlie Lee, actually, saying a $20 Litecoin, which now if we look at it, doesn't seem too crazy. Litecoin is only 3 times a $20 Litecoin at $60. So Charlie Lee has never looked so right and so intelligent in my eyes than he does now, which I have always thought he was pretty intelligent, but it's pretty incredible that he called something like this when nobody necessarily, I don't think, was. That's not to say we will be in a bear market for a few years, like he said, but even if we immediately go up to $20,000 now, he was pretty spot on with his prediction there. So as always, I would love to hear how people are feeling in the market. I know there are people that are permanently bullish on tech and price, and I think that's pretty much the way to go. And leaving your emotions at the door, if you can, is the way to go. But the key is, if you can, because it is not easy, especially for most people. Emotions are always going to be tied with this market. But yeah, I was kind of unsure how to start the video because I don't want to say like, oh, you know what, just be optimistic, it'll all go back up. Can't keep saying the same thing for the past 8 months. But I kind of just want to give my perspective on it and maybe promote discussion. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Because it isn't doom and gloom. The prices are down, but I mean, nothing has changed. The market is doing, at least the technology in the industry is doing amazing. The Lightning Network grows every single day exponentially. It's been insane. And there's so much good stuff to feel excited about. And eventually, this will pass. The uncertainty is what's eating people up, I think. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this far. I think I rambled on too much. I'm going to try and edit it down a little bit. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed again, please consider subscribing and liking the video and can hang in there. And hopefully nobody does anything with suicide. The last thing I want to say, I saw a lot of things in live streams and post tweets about people, I don't know if it's jokingly putting like a suicide hotline number, but even if it was jokingly, realistically, probably some people are feeling suicidal because these prices are not high. And people invested very high and they lost real money, or at least real value for now. Even if it does go up in the future, right now their valuations are much lower. And if they would sell, they would have far less money than they had prior to investing. So for anyone out there who might be considering suicide, I would strongly advocate not to commit suicide, obviously. I would strongly advocate calling somebody, maybe a family member or a loved one, or just the suicide hotline, which you can find very easily on Google. If you type in anything related to suicide, the number will come up. But yeah, I don't want to say this jokingly, and that's why I'm being pretty serious about it. If anyone's considering that, reevaluate. It's not that serious. The prices will go back up eventually. And yeah, I hope that everyone doesn't feel that way. I don't think most people do, but I just want to, if there's one person that watches this video that's feeling that way, I hope that they don't do that.